Minasan, konnichiwa. Hey guys, it's Chloe. Welcome back to my channel. I know I kind of disappeared again. I moved. You may notice the background is different. There are still moving boxes that I need to unpack. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get back to regular uploads again. So I thought for the first video back, I would share some of my goals for 2026. So it's my study goals and my reading goals, because I've been big on reading again recently. So first of all, my study goals. So my focus for this year continues to be Japanese. My kind of big goal is to pass the N2. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know I have attempted the N2 I think 3 times now, and I have not yet passed. So this year I want to be the year that I pass the N2. I don't have like a super strict schedule at the moment. I didn't take the exam last year, so I had a break from exams, but obviously I've still been studying. So I'm kind of focusing at the moment on vocab, because I think that is what then causes other problems with like the reading section and things. So I'm very much focused on vocab right now, and I mean I hope it won't take the whole year, but I don't have like a deadline to finish with vocab. But you know, whenever I do, I will then focus more on probably the reading section of the exam. I do a lot of reading generally. If you know me, it's like one of my favorite ways to study, through reading. So I have a lot of, you know, kind of reading comprehension based textbooks and things. I think I just need to work on kind of exam technique specifically. So once I'm done with vocab, I'll switch more to focus on reading, and then kind of brush up on the other areas before attempting the exam in December. For Korean, I was thinking of taking the topic this year, but I think I would rather just focus on the JLPT. So instead of actually taking the exam, I will kind of just test myself. I would like to, you know, attempt a topic 1 paper, and you know, if I can pass that, then I'll just move on to kind of more intermediate level Korean. So at the time of recording, I'm like a quarter of the way through my level 2 textbook, so I'm hoping to kind of finish that around summertime. I'm not in any rush. Like I said, I'm not planning to take the exam anymore, so there's no kind of time limit. But if I can finish level 2 around, you know, summer, kind of early autumn, and then towards the end of the year I can make a start on level 3. So I'm using the Step Up Korean books, which I believe does correspond to the topic levels, and I also use the King Sejong online course. So again, they kind of, you know, match up to the topic levels. So if I can finish level 2 by maybe September, I would be happy with that. And then start on level 3. Yeah, in like the last part of the year. There is another language I've started to kind of dip my toes into, but I'm not sure if it's something I'm going to continue with, and I don't really want to make a big like song and dance about it and then kind of abandon it later. So for now, yeah, I'll leave the language goals there. So yeah, Japanese, pass the N2, focus on building up my vocabulary in Japanese, and Korean, kind of finish beginner level. And then my reading goals, so there's kind of 2 parts to my reading goals. There's like my general reading goal, and then I have set myself a Japanese reading goal. So I am trying to read more books like generally. In like the second half of last year I really got back into reading, and I did set myself the goal of 12 books to read last year, which I did do. I read 14 books last year. So for this year I thought I would up the stakes a little bit. So I'm aiming to read 24 books kind of overall. So it kind of works out as like 2 a month, which I think is more than doable. I'm well ahead on my reading goal. So I want to read 24 books kind of generally, but for Japanese especially, I'm still very slow reading books in Japanese. I don't know why. Like, I don't know if it's perhaps, you know, the formatting in books, it tends to be, you know, top to bottom, whereas in textbooks and things it's kind of left to right, so maybe that slows me down. I don't know, maybe it's just because, you know, it's more complex, it's a higher level than my textbooks and things, but I'm so slow reading in Japanese. So I do get very easily demotivated, and you know, I kind of will take breaks and then forget what I've read and then give up. So my reading goal for Japanese, I want to finish 4 books this year. So that kind of works out as like 1 per quarter. Obviously, if I can read more than that, I will. I'm still like partway through a book I started last year. You know, as like reading books in Japanese is more like extensive reading for me. So I don't really like stop and look up words. I just pick up as much as I can from the context. It's like I can generally follow along. If there's something I really don't understand, I will look it up. But generally I can, you know, figure out what's going on. It's just that I'm so slow with reading in Japanese. Like, it takes me like 5 minutes just to read like a double page spread, which, you know, in English would take me like 1 minute. So it's like just a very slow process. So I'm hoping, you know, just by setting a small goal and then, you know, encouraging myself to practice reading more regularly, I will speed up. So yeah, that is my goal. So in theory, I should read, you know, 20 books in English, 4 books in Japanese. But, you know, that number's not like set. And I do have books already to read. A lot of them I have started reading and then kind of gave up. So I want to, you know, finish the ones I've started. But yeah, those are my study goals and my reading goals for this year, 2026. I will do probably like quarterly check-ins. At least that's the plan. So this video is probably going to go up like mid-February. So the first check-in will probably be in like a few weeks anyway. Yeah, I will probably share more details about, you know, exactly what I've been studying and how I've been studying and things like that in the check-ins. Because I find that if I set myself too rigid goals, I just don't do them. So I'm kind of keeping it loose at the moment, but yeah, once I've, you know, done kind of more work towards them, then in the quarterly check-ins I can kind of share with you guys more, you know, resources and methods and things like that. So I hope you'll look forward to those. But yeah, I think that's like everything I kind of have to say at the moment. So yeah, let me know in the comments what your goals are for 2026. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again in the next one.